So Sylvan, last time we were together, we were working on words that have a prefix and a suffix, okay? So today we're going to play a little game before we dive into some more tutoring, okay? And here's how we're going to play. So I have a pile of words that either have a prefix or a suffix or both, okay? So I'll do an example. So the cards are going to be face down, and then I'm going to pick it up, and you can write it on the whiteboard. Okay, I'll do my first example. So I picked, what word is this?
Helpful.
Helpful. So is there a prefix in the before the word helpful? Prefixes go before. So is there a word before help?
No.
No. So what's the base word in this word helpful? Help. So I'm going to write help. That's okay. That's why we're doing this now, okay? And then the suffix is what comes at the end. So here's our base word help. What suffix comes after it? Full. So I'm going to go right. Help plus full equals, what's the word that it has? When help and full is together, it makes
Helpful.
Good, helpful. Do you understand? All right, ready? Your turn, and we can switch taking turns. So go ahead and pick a card. We'll spread them out. You can pick whatever one you want. Go ahead. What word do you have? Tallest. So let's look at tallest. Okay, Sylvan? Is there a prefix before tallest?
No.
No. So what's the base word in tallest?
Tall.
Good. So go ahead and write tall. Plus what? What's the suffix? What word comes at the end? Ist. Good. And it makes what word?
Tallest.
Awesome. Great job. All right. Do you want me to go next? Do you want to keep going? All right. Let me pick a tricky one. Discolored. All right, so let's look at discolored. Can you help me with this one? Do you see the base word? What is it?
This.
The base word?
That's
okay. The base word is the word that makes sense if it's alone. So is there a word in here that would make sense if it's all by itself? What? Color. All right. So I'm going to write the word color. Or do you want to write it for me? Can you write color in the middle? So what are we adding to the beginning of color and the end of color? So what's the prefix? What comes before color, the base word?
Yes.
Good.
Do I have a plus?
You can write plus sign. And now let's look at it. For the base word, you work colored. But what is ed? Is ed part of the base word, or is that a suffix? Is that added on to it sometimes? It's added on. So let's erase it from the base word, and we have to add it on to the suffix. So add a plus sign and then ed. Equals, and then what word is it again? Discolored. Awesome. So if you were to come across one of these words while you're reading, Sylvan, you can chunk it up and find the base word first, and then add on the prefix and suffix to help you understand it, okay? All right, your turn. You can pick another card.
Misuse.
Misuse. Is what? The prefix? Yep, good. Good. What does this word not have? It had a prefix and it had a base word. What's it not have? The suffix. Good. So sometimes they won't have both. All right, ready? Trainer.
Is that right?
Let me see. Train plus or equals trainer. Yes, because train can be a word by itself, right? If you read train in a sentence, would it still make sense? What if you saw Would make sense in a sentence by itself? If you just saw the word No. So you're right. That would be the suffix. Awesome. All right. Ready? My turn. Removes. What word could stand alone in that word?
Move.
Move. Awesome. You're doing so well. Go ahead and write move.
Did I write read first?
You can write read first. Yep. If you already figured out that that's the prefix. Good.
Tutor, the plus sign,
Mm-hmm.
and S.
Is it just S? Look at the word. Oh, yep. Good. Caught me. And what word was it again?
Moves.
Awesome. So let's do one more. Your turn.
Returning.
Returning. Awesome. Ooh, you're getting good. You can even flip the card upside down and you still know.
That's a plus sign.
Okay. Awesome. So what word was it again, Sylvan?
Returning.
Returning. So let's review. A prefix comes at the what? Beginning or end of a word?
Prefix becomes at the beginning.
Good. And a suffix is at the
end.
And how could you use prefixes and suffixes to help you read a word that you didn't know?
By adding them.
By adding them, right? And what could you look for first? What could you look for first? If you came across a word that had a prefix and suffix, could you look for the base word to help you understand it? Right? All right, high five, dude, you rocked that. All right. So the next thing we're going to work on, Sylvan, is reading a poem fluently. Do you know what it means to read fluently? No? Okay, can I teach you? All right, so fluent readers read with expression and they make you want to listen, right? Have your teacher ever read you a story and you were so hooked? You were like, oh my goodness, she's reading that and I'm so hooked in her voice, right? So let me tell you, this is not fluent. Ready? Not fluent readers read like a robot. Can I show you? He stands at the plate, his heart pounding fast. The base is loaded. The die has been cast. Mom and dad cannot help him. Are you bored when I read like that? You're not? I am bored when people read like that. I think they sound like a robot. But what if they read like this? Can I read you the whole poem and show you? All right. He's just a little boy. He stands at the plate, his heart pounding fast. The bases are loaded. The die has been cast. Mom and dad cannot help him. He stands all alone. A hit at this moment would send the team home. The ball nears the plate. He swings and he misses. Boo and hisses. A thoughtful voice cries, "Strike out the bomb!" Tears fill his eyes. The game's no longer fun. Remember, he's just a boy who stands all alone. So open your heart and give him a break. For it's moments like this a man you can make. Keep this in mind when you hear someone forget. He's just a little boy, not a man yet. So do you see how I read it differently? The first time I kind of read with long pauses, and this time I read and I used expression, and if there was an exclamation point, I made sure to read it a little bit louder, okay? So the one thing we're going to work on is reading with expression. So I'm going to have you read this poem 3 times out loud, and then I'm going to time you while you read it to see how many words you can read per minute, okay? Okay, go ahead.
Wait, is it okay if I read fast? Because I normally read fast sometimes.
Yeah, as long as you're still taking pauses and we're not losing the meaning, you can read, okay?
He's just a little boy. He stands at the plate, his heart pounding fast. The bases are loaded. The die has been cast. Mom and dad cannot help him. He stands all alone. A hit at this moment would send the team home. The ball nears the plate. He swings and he misses. Boos and hisses. A thoughtless voice cries, "Strike out the bomb!" Tears fill his eyes. The game's no longer fun, remember. He's just a boy who stands all alone, so open your heart and give him a break. For it's moments like this a man you can make. Keep this mind when you hear someone forget he's just a little boy, not a man yet.
All right, that was good. I like how I could tell when you got to an exclamation point. So this time when you read, I want you to stand up straight or sit up straight and make sure that I can hear each of the words. So try it one more time, okay?
He's just a little boy. He stands at his plate, his heart pounding fast. The bases are loaded. The die has been cast. Mom and Dad cannot help him. He stands all alone. A hit at this moment would send the team home. The ball nears the plates. He swings and he misses. A thoughtless voice cries, "Strike out the bomb." Tears fill his eyes. The game no longer fun. Remember, he's just a boy who stands all alone. So open your heart and give him a break, for it's moments like this a man you can make. Keep this in mind when you hear someone forget he's just a little boy, not a man yet.
Wow, Simon, that was awesome. All right, so now I'm going to set the timer for a minute, and we're going to see how many words in this poem you can read. But listen, if we get to a minute and you haven't finished reading the poem, you can just start from the beginning, and I'll tell you when to stop, okay? Read just like how you were reading. Don't speed up, okay? Go ahead.
He's just a little boy. He stands at this plate. His heart pounding fast. The bases are loaded. Dang.
Don't worry. Wait, let's start over. Don't pay attention to that, okay? It's all right. Don't worry. So let's start over. I'll hide it.
He stands at the plate, his heart pounding fast. The bases are loaded. The die has been cast. Mom and Dad cannot help him. He stands all alone. A hit at this moment will send the team home. The ball near the plates. He swings and he misses. Boos and hisses. A thoughtless voice cries, "Strike out the bum." Tears fill his eyes. The game no longer fun. Remember, he's just a boy who stands all alone. So open your heart and give him a break. For it's moments like this a man you can make. Keep this in mind when you hear someone forget he's just a little boy, not a man yet.
Read a little bit more up here.
He's just a little boy. He's standing at his plate, his heart pounding fast. The bases are loaded. The die has been cast. Mom and Dad can't.
Mom and Dad. Awesome. So then I'm going to count this up and see after our session and see how many words per minute you read, okay? High five on that poem. I can see you really trying to read with expression. So we're going to keep working on that, okay? So the next thing we're going to do, Sylvan, is we're going to read a fiction story. Can you tell me what a fiction story is?
It means not real.
Not real, right? It's pretend. Have you ever heard of realistic fiction, though? Okay. So when it's realistic fiction, it means the story's pretend, but it could really happen in real life, right?
Nonfiction?
Well, nonfiction is giving you facts. Realistic fiction is the story's still made up, but it really could happen. So let's say there's a story about someone going to the beach. Maybe they never went to the beach, but can people go to the beach? Right, so that'd be realistic fiction, okay? And so today we're going to read the passage, "A sudden slice of summer." And then afterwards, we're going to sequence the events. Do you know what it means to sequence something? Okay, so when you sequence something, you put something in order. So when you
First, next, last. First, next, then last.
Awesome. First, next, then last. So on our chart, we have first, and then they have a whole bunch of next because there might be more than one of next, okay? And then a last, all right? So we're going to read the passage. We're probably going to need to read it 2 times, okay? And then we're going to go through and we're going to fill this out together. And then we're going to talk about what we read because good readers talk about it. All right? So first, let's make a prediction. A sudden slice of summer. What do you think this is going to be about, Sylvan?
Kids on summer break and they're going to beaches and pick up shells or stuff.
Can you make a text-to-self connection? Have you ever been to a beach before, Sylvan? Yeah? Do you like the beach? What's your favorite part?
I like the sand. That's all I like.
You like the sand? I kind of like the sand, but then I kind of, you know when you go home and it's seriously like everywhere? Like that's the only thing about the beach that kind of bothers me. But I agree with your prediction. I think it's going to have something to do with summer break. So can you start reading out loud for me right here, sitting up straight?
The snow began to fall early this year in November before Susanna
Mm-hmm. Susanna, you had it.
even had a chance to bring her puffed up purple winter coat out of the closet. It did not stop. Cold white con, comfy,
Conf, eh,
confetti,
confetti.
confetti.
Confetti. Do you know what confetti is?
No.
Have you ever seen like a pinata and they kind of might have like a little cut of pieces of paper and it kind of goes flying everywhere? That's confetti. So let's start at the beginning right here. Cold.
Oh,
So start.
cold white confetti came down on the city on Montreal morning.
City, is that on or?
Huh?
What word is this? You said on. Is it on?
City of
Montreal.
Montreal morning noon, and already Suzanne was wondering when the party would end. The other kids in her class loved the snow. They loved that sometimes when the winds picked up and the roads turned icy, school was canceled. They liked to build towering forts and snowmen. Why? Well, whose noses were the carrot sticks they found packed in their lunchboxes?
So let's stop right there. What season are they talking about in this first paragraph?
Winter.
Winter, right? Not summer yet. How did you know they were talking about winter?
Because it said the snow began to fall early.
Awesome, good. So you noticed, you use the text that you know they're not talking about summer. So let's keep reading to figure out when they start talking about summer.
Suzanne despised the snow. More than that, she hated everything about wintertime. Her family had taken a trip to Florida 2 winters ago. She wished that they could have lived there all year round. She had bobbed
Good.
up and down in the ocean waves, sometimes floating on her back and other times with goggles on, searching for colored fish in the water. In the mornings, her mother had squeezed fresh juice from the Florida ground oranges that the hotel left in a basket at the front desk with her brother and sister. Suzanne had constructed a magnificent castle on the beach with a moat and a long looping flight upstairs. She liked feeling the sand between her fingers and stuck together every bit as well as snow did, and it didn't make
Good.
your teeth chatter. At the end of his weeks,
Let's go back to this word. Is it his?
of this week,
Good.
Suzanne's family was going to drive an hour north to the ski hill. They would spend Saturday there riding chairlifts to the top of a frosted mountain and following the slope back down. Suzanne refused to go with them. Them.
Good.
She wanted nothing to do that with that thick white powdery stuff. It was bad enough that she had to trudge through it every day on her way to Sunnydale Elementary. Arrogance?
Does arrogance make sense? Arrogance had been made. What other word could it be?
Arrangements.
There you go. Good.
Had been made. Grandma was coming to the house to look after her. She was determined to stay warm and dry. There were packets of hot cocoa in the pantry. There's one.
Mhm. Keep reading. You're doing really good. You're doing really good.
How many more pages are there?
Just a little bit.
Oh. Suzanne's parents finished packing up the car. Her siblings, who had been throwing snowballs into the air and at each other. Out in the back seat. Can I put this closer a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Soon the station wagon disappeared from view, and Grandma settled into an armchair in front of the television. In a few quick minutes, she was asleep. Suzanne glanced outside and gave a sigh. Her hot chocolate was just about gone. She she was about to turn towards the sink to rinse her mug when, out of the corner of her eye, she caught something green in her blank white backyard. She pressed her face up against the kitchen window.
All right, stop. What do you think it's going to be if she's seeing something green in her backyard?
Grass?
Grass. What do you think that's telling us? When would you see grass in wintertime? What would have to be happening to the snow?
Melting!
It'd be melting, so what's coming then?
Summer!
Summer or spring? Okay, let's keep reading.
In the corner of the yard closet to the sliding back door, the snow had melted away. In its place, a small tree with low-hanging fruit was growing. Suzanne
Immediately. That one's tricky. Say it immediately.
immediately,
All right, my turn, your turn. Ready? Immediately.
immediately,
Immediately.
um,
Immediately.
immediately,
Immediately.
Good. Can I skip it?
We'll practice it.
Ran out to it elsewhere. The snowy flakes continued to swirl, but not a single one landed on this bright patch of ground, which was covered in sand. The sun beamed down on Suzanne so hard, in fact, that she was hot, sweating hot, half buried by her feet in a plastic shovel and pail. She couldn't believe it. A small slice of a tropical holiday she had been missing had landed right behind her house. She ran inside for her bathing suit. For the next few hours, while Grandma lay dozing, Suzanne sprawled?
Sprawled? Yes. Good.
Out on her own little beach. At first, she could not stop smiling. She
Giddily. Yep. Giddily means like she was like happy or like giggling.
stretched out her limbs and moved them back and forth, making a snow angel. No, a sand angel. She read a bit of a book. She picked a few oranges and peeled them one by one. She digged holes and then filled them in again. After that, she didn't quite know what to do. Apparently, the pleasures of the warm sand beach were a lot less fun when there was no one around to share them with. Suzanne would have woken her grandmother, but she remembered that Grandma didn't much care for the sun. She had spent the family's entire Florida vacation under both an umbrella and a huge brown hat. Besides, the sunny space wasn't big enough for two. By late afternoon, Suzanne wasn't feeling very well. Her mother hadn't been around to lather her in suntan lotion, and her skin had turned a very dark shade of pink. She had eaten so many sickly sweet oranges that she now had a stomachache. She had gotten some sand in her eye and had to blink fiercely to get it out. The sun was strong and unrelenting, Unrelenting.
Unrelenting. That means it would not give up. That's probably, so you can think of the sun. If it wouldn't give up, it just meant it kept beating down on her. It's probably getting really, really hot, and that's why her skin was turning pink. She was getting burnt.
She glanced over to the other side of the yard. She was reluctant.
Good.
Reluctant
Reluctant. You had it. Reluctant.
to admit it, even to herself, but the snow looked sort of refreshing. She imagined racing her siblings to the bottom of that frosted mountain. Perhaps skiing with her family wouldn't have been so terrible. She was flushed and bored, but most of all, she missed them.
All right, so before we keep reading, because I know you've been reading a lot, let's talk about what's happened so far in the story.
Okay. So Suzanne was it was snow season out. Then they packed hot chocolate. Her hot chocolate was gone when she went to the sink. She saw the snow melted. Then they were on a field trip up the frosty mountain. She misses her family going down the hill, even racing her siblings. But even if she was bored, she still missed them.
She still missed them. What was happening to her with the sun?
Oh, she was getting burned.
Burn, right? So even though she was like crazy excited for summer, is she really enjoying herself that much right now? Is she at the end though, where we left off? At the beginning, right, she was laying out, she was enjoying it, but now she's saying that she's getting burnt and she's kind of bored because she's alone. So do you think she's still enjoying it? A little bit, you still think so? So what's your prediction for the end of the story, Sylvan? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think her family's gonna come back and they're gonna ski down the mountain.
All right, let's find out. Take your time, don't worry, then we're almost finished. Okay, you're doing awesome.
She trudged inside, showered the sweat and the sand off her body, and then joined her grandma, who had finally awoken at the table. "My dear, however did you manage to get that awful sunburn?" her grandmother wailed. Suzanne just shrugged.
So let's cover up the suffix. Try that.
Shrug.
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 And then
Shrugged.
there you go.
She wasn't very hungry, but she managed to pack in some forkfuls of spaghetti and 3 meatballs before bed. She crept over to the back door and peered out. The sand, the tree, the bucket, all were gone. Suzanne began to think that she had imagined it. She wasn't that disappointed. Her brother and sister would be back in the morning, and she badly wanted to play with them, even if it meant being chilly. The car pulled into the driveway. Suzanne was up with a start, and she charged downstairs. She welcomed both of her parents home with hugs, and gave one to her grandmother too, who was preparing to leave. Then, as her mother began to ready breakfast, she pulled on her snowsuit, enjoying her siblings in the back. They were sculpting animals, a caterpillar with snowy lumps for a body, a fish with a 3-dimensional fin, and they were surprised to see her there. She dropped to her knees without explanation and began to work. Her hat was pulled low over her ears. Her mittens were lined with wool, and suddenly her sister's hand was over hers, helping to smooth out the fish-curved tail. She could wait for summer. She was warm now.
Awesome. High five. You did it. All right, Sylvan. So let's talk about it. Do you think this story is real or fantasy?
Real?
Real. So how'd she get to that beach, though?
Because I think her grandma dropped her off there, I think.
Where in the story? Can you show me where in the story you found out that the grandma dropped her off. Can you look back? Good readers can look back. So go ahead and look back in the text and find out, how did she get to this beach?
She liked feeling the sand. Oh, wait.
It's okay. Keep looking. You can turn the page if you need to.
Right here.
You found it?